President Obama spent $136.8 million on the last presidential campaign for a job that pays $400,000 a year. Welcome to real politics. To be successful at politics, you have to lie. This is just common sense. Because as we all know, you can't please everyone. A politician would never come out and say, "I want to take over the world and destroy freedom," because no one would vote for them. So every politician promises change, and hope, and a better tomorrow. The higher the position, the bigger the liar. By the end of it, the people at the highest positions of society end up being the biggest sociopaths in the world. But they are good at pretending to act compassionate and admirable in public. They pretend to care about you, but they are only here to maintain the earth mining colony agenda. This should never be forgotten.
And after the National Socialism, I mean the neoconservatism of Bush and the corruption and the problems that was causing was beginning to wake people up. Well, then they shifted us in 2008 to the Marxist socialism of Barack Obama. Still socialism, and it's still the plan of the international financiers. To show you that there's been no change, 1989 to 1993, we had the administration of George Herbert Walker Bush, a Republican, and every cabinet member except for Dan Quayle, his vice president who couldn't spell potato, and his old buddy Jim Baker, and Health and Human Services Secretary Louis Sullivan, every other member was a member of the Secretive Council on Foreign Relations, which is the sister organization to the Royal Institute of International Affairs in Britain. This was formed right after World War I, when the League of Nations idea failed because the U.S. Senate said, "We're not ready to give up our sovereignty," and they wouldn't sign on for it. So they created the Royal Institute of International Affairs in Britain and the Council on Foreign Relations in America for the express purpose of conditioning the public to accept a global governance. And today it's the United Nations, and this is what they are still pushing for. And they call themselves globalist. And they are globalist. They don't care about the United States. They don't care about England. They don't care about Australia. They don't care about any country. They are globalist. They're out to control the world. And how can they do that? Well, of course, if they say, "We want to run the world," everybody's going to say, "Sit down, shut up." But they say, "We want to bring social programs to the world. We're going to take care of you from cradle to grave." Ooh, well, that sounds pretty good. Let's go for that. What they understand, and you don't, is that any time you have a socialist program, no matter how benevolent it may be, to make it operate effectively, you've got to have central administration, central authority. And these people know they have the wealth and the power to buy up the central authority, and then what have they got? Control of the world, the oldest agenda in mankind's history. So all of Bush's cabinet were Council on Foreign Relations people. But then from 93 to 2000, we got the Clinton administration, a Democratic administration. Oops, all members of his cabinet, except for Defense Secretary William Perry, Council on Foreign Relations. Okay, but then we voted in a Republican administration, George W. Bush, George Bush's son, another neocon or another National Socialist. Look at his cabinet: Dick Cheney, Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, Donald Rumsfeld, Robert Gates, Elaine Chao, Christine, all Council on Foreign Relations. So what's changed? But now we got Barack Obama, go-go dancer in the 80s, smooth-talking young man, a man of color, a man who promises change. Oh, and let's look at his cabinet. Oops, Robert Gates is still on there, but now he's Secretary of Defense. And we got Janet Napolitano, Bill Richardson, Susan Rice, James Jones, Timothy Geithner, Larry Summers, all Council on Foreign Relations. What's changed? Nothing. The rich party is still in power.
One of the main functions of illegal drugs is to destabilize society. This is why drug use is always glamorized on TV and movies.
Looks like a whole lot of soup.
Who are you? The damn soup police?
I deserve that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to nurse this cold.
You know, I'm in the pharmaceutical business. I might have something that'll make you feel better. This'll clear you right up.
I see. It's some sort of heated inhalant. Wow, you're right. I feel great. Whoa! Any chance I could get some of that cold medicine to go?
Sure thing. No need, pal. First time's free.
Whoa! I feel strong enough to drag a mattress into an abandoned... All right, there's the senator. Now get in good with his daughter and it'll help me a lot.
Gotcha! Sex the daughter.
I'm serious, Roger. I have a lot riding on this. Just be normal. Senator Buckingham, I want you to meet my son, Steve.
Your Eminence. This must be your beautiful young wife.
That's my daughter, Cookie. Don't be late for class, you two.
So, Cookie, do you like ponies?
You sold the senator's daughter? How did this happen?
Ugh, I've told this story so many times today. You should just ask my hairdresser.
Roger!
Okay. So, I was trying to be her best friend, like you wanted. So, Cookie, do you like ponies?
No. I'm almost 16.
Oh. So, what do you like?
Cocaine and stuff?
Yay! Oh, Patrick. You like that?
Get his ass!
I'm amazingly focused right now!
Relax. You're in now. It's official. Damn, girl. You drink the whole thing. I told you I don't do that shit. Don't be a pussy. It's not a needle. It's when you start shooting up that you become a zombie.
لا بنقولها بكره لك قلت لك بالامان الفلوس قريبه حبيبي انت بطلت تصدقني لك يا اخي انا كم مره بدي اقول لك
Go. Morning, boss. Morning. Boss.
Morning, Daddy.
Good to be back. Took you so fucking long.
embarrass you on that piece of shit.
Who's got coffee?
Knock the dust off.
Are you fucking kidding me? You promised to use the downtime to work on yourself.
I'm fine.
Give me the weapon.
No. I can
Lizzie.
train. Breacher, I'm training. Why don't you go play Teddy somewhere else, huh?
What they forget is the pleasure of it.
Oh, Dad, wait.
Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
Pure as the driven smell of that shit, Danny.
After all, we're not fucking stupid. Or at least we're not that fucking stupid. Take the best orgasm you ever had. Multiply it by 1,000 and you're still nowhere near it.
Methylene dioxymethamphetamine. Eckies, disco biscuits, Super Marios, white doves, the club drug, the hug drug, the love drug, X, E, MDMA, 100% pure ecstasy. People have a lot to say about E. Good, bad, most of it's shite. Truth is, the moment you taste it, you fucking know. E is pure fucking magic.
The more drugs are mentioned in movies and TV, the more normal they seem. The trick is they are trying to make us think that hard drugs like heroin and cocaine are part of society. If you are addicted to drugs, you can't be a free thinker. It's a form of mental slavery. Alcohol is the best example of this.
Well, I did do all the heavy lifting. Literally, I lifted the heavy things. And sorry, but the security snafu, that was on you.
Oh.
My private elevator.
You mean our elevator?
It was teeming with sweaty workmen. I'm going to pay for that comment about percentages in some subtle way later, aren't I?
Not going to be that subtle.
I'll tell you what. Next building is going to say Potts on the tower.
On the lease.
Call your mom. Can you bunk over?
Drinking is part of being an adult. This is the message that the mainstream media wants to convey. If you don't drink, you are strange and antisocial. Drinking is synonymous with fun, living life to the fullest, adventure, daring, but alcohol, like most other drugs, only provide a temporary escape.
Less than 1 hour ago, British Aqua Atlantic Flight 10 made an emergency landing after a bomb exploded mid-air. This following an attempted hijacking. Yet, in an unbelievable twist, the suspected hijacker, US Air Marshal Bill Marks, turned out to be the hero. It was Marks who confronted and killed the hijacker, saving alive.
Yeah, it's Marinick. It's my turn to break protocol, Agent Marks. I'm calling from my personal line, and I'll deny this conversation ever took place. Listen, Bill, what you did on that plane, what you were up against, I want you to know I was wrong about you. And you'll have my full support.
I don't even associate myself with the industry, you know what I'm saying? I'm not an industry artist. I'm an artist in the industry. You know?
And you've always stood alone and you know, bloodline.
I don't hang with niggas. You're not gonna see me at every party, every industry party, all the clubs. I go somewhere quiet, man, shoot pool with me and my mans and them, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that's the type of shit I do, you know what I'm saying? Fuck with my remote control cars, jump on the four-wheelers, you know what I mean? I ain't with all that in the club shit, throwing it up and all that bullshit. I ain't got time for that shit, man. And then you find yourself doing the same shit every fucking day. What are you, a fucking alcoholic?
Another reason drugs are illegal but glamorized by the mainstream media has to do with the economy. Back before the Civil War, most plantation owners in the South had slaves. But owning slaves had built-in costs involved. Slave owners had to pay for food, shelter, medicine, security to prevent the slaves from escaping or learning to read and write. There were funeral expenses involved. Nowadays it's a financial slavery. People work 40 hours a week and are given enough money to pay for our own housing and medicine and the cable bill and their phone bill. They hand out just enough money to make people believe they are free because they can't see the bars. Corporations today make way more money off financial slaves than they would physical slaves. Drugs are illegal because they support the prison economy. When you see a product made in China that costs $1, you have to ask yourself how a company could manufacture and ship a product all the way from China and sell it for $1 at a profit. The answer is prison labor. China has more prison labor camps than any other country in the world. 75% of people in American prisons are in jail for non-violent drug offenses. Prison labor is the new slave labor. Prisoners are happy to get paid $1 an hour to be outside and work. This is another reason why drugs are glamorized by the media but still kept illegal. Another aspect to this scam is this. When a prisoner is sentenced to say 20 years, he usually only ends up serving half the time. But the prison gets paid for 20 years by the government to house and feed the prisoner. After 10 years, when the prisoner is released, the prison can take in a new prisoner and get paid again. This is why private corporations are taking over the prison industry. The goal is to enslave the world. It's a much more efficient way to maintain the global mining colony agenda.